So I believe it should be working now. So what's up, summoners? King Blair here. Sorry, I said my random. King Blair here. Today we're gonna be doing an update discussion talk. So if you guys didn't know, yesterday's or 2 days ago's live stream revealed a lot about what the future was gonna be holding for Epic 7. There is a lot of spicy stuff coming our way. There's the new EEs that were released recently. There's a lot of stuff, right? And we're gonna talk about it. We're gonna talk about the sign a little bit. I know that's probably a big one, Pabel. And then of course, if you're still on the fence about any of the summons, whether it's the three that are here, or it's FCC versus Lilibet, or any of that stuff, hopefully, or even like if you're thinking about Tanibria, hopefully we can have that talk about it. And we can discuss it as we go through the updates and talk about all that stuff and do my thoughts on that. And hey, what's up, Kitsune, for dropping by, and Benjamin and everything. But yeah, today's stream will be pretty exciting. We'll be covering a lot of those update stuff, and hopefully we can have some fun discussions because the new Emma Lilibet is really interesting. I think she will be good, but I don't think she's better than FCC. So I kind of already spoiled it a little bit, but let me pull up this patch notes in particular, and then we'll go into more of like the abstract stuff, like more of the characters and the future stuff with the gear update change that they made that I'm a little worried about. I don't want to be a Debbie Downer. I know most people are like very excited about the new gear. They can change a substat on your plus 15 gear. I know a lot of people are excited about that, but I am a little worried on my end. And I'll talk to you guys why. I think it's good overall, but I think there's also going to be a lot of negatives that come along with that, and we'll talk about them. I kind of show some gear that I'm really excited for, but how that can also become a problem for certain things, especially depending how they implement it, right? That's the biggest thing I'm worried about, is that they'll mess up implementation, because Smoggett is not the best at implementing new changes, right? They might do something stupid like add it in a pack and make it so it's like pay to win or something like that, and I really hope they don't do that. But we'll see, right? Assuming we give them the benefit of the doubt, everything should be fine. So, hey, what's up, Auxiliary? And yeah, what's up, Henry? Thanks for dropping by. But all right, let me pull up my camera so you guys can see my beautiful face. And yeah, if you guys didn't know, I am based in Texas, and it is crazy cold down here. If you guys have seen the news or you live in the United States, it's pretty crazy. I am one of the few lucky ones that actually was able to keep their electricity and water and everything. But if you're from Texas, I hope y'all are chilling it, right? I hope y'all are okay. So yeah, shout out to the people in Texas. Hope y'all are safe. Let me close my faucet real quick. But okay, let's do it. Let's get to some updates. So first we're gonna start with the updates that happened this last week, and then we'll get to more of the juicy stuff, right? We gotta save the best for last. You know, we gotta warm up the stream, and then we'll get to the good stuff. So first, let's go to the actual updated condiment. Yeah, but Texas represent, bro. It's so cold right now over here. I am so lucky. But all right, we can talk about that later on, but let's do it. Yeah, dude, anyone in Texas, shout out to you guys. Stay safe. It's crazy out there. Just stay safe, you know. Make sure you're safe. I haven't left my house in the past week, so I'm chilling. It's icy roads out there, and I don't know how to drive on them, so I've been chilling at my home. But all right, let's go over what we're seeing. So, Bittersweet Festival, we already had this. It's kind of a rerun. It's a second storyline. It always happens. Rewards are okay. It's a lot of energy. I never like these because I feel like I'm spending so much energy. But it just so happened that I had to 6-star a bunch of units recently. So this actually came at the perfect time where I really needed to farm fodder. And it helped a lot, right? It's crazy, right? So I'm happy that they did this. I'm happy that we're getting this. And I got it at the time where I have a lot of units that actually need to level up. So I feel like I'm not wasting energy because I needed to farm regardless, right? So I needed to farm for stuff. So it's fine that they're doing this, and it takes a lot of energy. It gives me something to do, something to grind. Doesn't make me feel like I'm wasting my time in adventure stages. Story's cool. I like this story. I also realized that the pet looks a lot cuter. I have one of these and she doesn't look this good. It kind of makes me salty, actually. Because mine doesn't look this good. I guess it's new, maybe. Like, it's a new one. But, like, the old one that I have the new one at 4, and it doesn't look that good. I know pet system. But, all right. First piece of spicy stuff. But let me see some of the stuff y'all are talking about. From the West, yeah. For you guys, people up north are probably like, dude, you're cold in Texas. It's only, like, what? 10 degrees Fahrenheit? Bro, up here it's like 0. You know, so it's like, it's tough. It's not new. It's an ML pet. Yeah, I have this ML pet. That's the thing. I have this ML pet, and she doesn't look this good. I feel like I got cheated. Wait, let me check my pen now. Super unrelated to what we're doing, and this is terrible. But I feel like I have to check this. That's not the guild. Although we are recruiting 2 more members. If you're a champion in Arena or Guild Wars, we are shooting for top 100 guild. And with the new expedition changes, we really do need to grind down some expeditions. But I have the pet, and it doesn't look that good. Oh, so mine's not special. Mine's just basic. I guess I have the basic one. Okay, I'm sure you guys don't care about pets. So let's switch over to what we were talking about before. So, okay, apparently I don't have the real ML one. So apparently mine's ugly. But okay, special exclusive equipment. So let's go to pavels first. I called it, y'all. I legit called it. The Pabel would get the EE. He was my number 1 in that top 5. And I knew it. I felt it. I don't know what it was. I think it was because he's in the side story. I was like, it just makes too much sense for Pabel to get the EE. Cerise is everywhere, and her boy Pabel is nowhere to be found. But I called it. I put it at number 1, and it was it. It was Pabel. So, you know, my uncle works at Smoggy. I'm just kidding. To answer your question real quick, Tahir, I have FCC. Do I think Emma a little bit is worth it? We'll get to her. I think she's really good, and I think she has a ton of potential. But she's not going to be a unit you use everywhere, right? She has her niche. She's kind of like an Emil Hayes. That Emil Hayes is really strong, right? Emil Hayes is really strong in a lot of scenarios, not just countering Arbiter Village. Emil Hayes is strong overall, but he's not like a meta-breaking unit. But okay, as far as Pavel, they didn't give him the skills I thought they would give him, but they made him a really good cleave unit, right? So they gave him things that make him a really spicy cleaver that I think was better than anything I could have given him, because I think this is amazing for cleave players, right? Because right now with Polides, a lot of people that play Cleave don't know what they're going to be doing. But one of the options that was rising up for these Cleave players is speed Cleaves. And the problem with speed Cleaves is typically you have to waste a lot of slots on supports for those type of Cleaves. Like Cerise, you need to have everyone else be fast. But Pavel is a fast Cleaver. And now the fact that he also increases the attack of an ally with the highest attack for 2 turns, this makes him a really good speed Cleaver. And hey, what's up, Deets? Haven't seen you in a while. But yeah, so essentially... And Mimica too, but no, I'm not psychic. But yeah, this one I think is the coolest one. I think this is the one that honestly makes a huge difference. It's the second one. Because it makes it so now you can actually speed Cleave properly. You can set up with your Cerise, and then follow up with someone like a Pavel, and then someone that's also pretty fast like an Arbiter Villager or a T-Cern, right? And they both will have attack buff now, because it's Pavel's that fast, right? So you're able to early set up. This could also set up into something like Aspected Tanibria, or then that can set up into like a... Talmud or Luluka. So this is huge for Cleave players. I think he's going to be a really spicy option for Cleave players. The crit rate is one of the best things they could have given him. It makes him so you can make him faster and stronger while also still reaching the 100% crit. As far as the other two, this one, it's kind of weird. My only problem with it, it's like if Pavel already got hit and has 2 debuffs, you probably are already losing that fight. So with Pavel's first one, with this one, if you're already getting debuffed, you're probably already losing. So it doesn't really make sense. I guess if you're trying to take him against Cerise, right, it would be nice to dispel. Maybe if you have a Guiding Light Pavel, you know, that's something that people haven't explored with yet is Guiding Light Pavel. So maybe if you have a Guiding Light Pavel, this will let you dispel the debuffs and set up into an S3 and then get that Guiding Light buff back and then not have all those debuffs on you. Kind of weird one. Doesn't seem that OP. The second one seems amazing. It's probably the one that everyone's going to be going with. And then this third one, I mean, once he does his combo, he does his job. Once he does S2 into S3, he already did his job. If he survives after turn 1, that means you probably are losing because you didn't do enough damage to kill the opponent, right? So why do you really need this one? It doesn't really make sense for him. The second one seems like the best one, and then the first one seems like a spice option. So overall, a little weird on these two, but on the second one, probably the one that everyone's going to be using. I think this one's going to be the one that everyone puts on their Pavel and will make speed Cleaves pretty spicy. As far as Clarissa, I'm going to be honest with you, I don't know too much about her. If you know in the comments what Clarissa does, you probably would be able to say this better than me. I don't think this is enough to make her anything besides a better PvE unit. I'm sure she's still going to be a good PvE unit. I mean, attack is nice. This one having a higher chance to decrease defense makes her a more reliable Wyvern unit, right? Because now you can land decrease defense a lot more often, or using the second one to apply more debuffs on the S1. That's also pretty nice. You know, more chances to apply debuffs for Wyvern, more chances to just clap. And then third one, I mean, if you're cleaving with Clarissa, I guess that's cool. But yeah, she's just better for Wyvern. It's just more Wyvern options. I don't see anything else besides just more Wyvern options. Maybe for some Hollow Trial stages, this could be really, really good to be able to have extra damage. But overall, I don't think it does anything crazy. It just makes her a more reliable PvE unit. So if you like her, that's good. Interesting unit, to say the least. All right. Also, let me put some music. It feels weird without music. I usually do have music, but I just forgot it this time. And recently, I've been getting a lot of like copyright claims for some of the music, but that's fine. You know, it'd be like let me set some chill background music. Hopefully, no one claims it this time. Royalty free, but we'll see. But okay, I'll put it. But let's talk about Tanibria. As far as Tanibria, she's not in a great spot for PvP, right? There's already so much stuff you need to save your Pokemon for. We know Senya is right around the corner, right? So Senya is right around the corner, and she looks great. We still have Cerise banner, and all those limited units are still there, right? Like all those units are still there, chilling. And we still there's so many good other units that Tanibria has definitely fallen off. She's not as big on having her, and the only one that you would do for imprints would be like Spectre T, because F10 it doesn't really need the imprints, and as we'll see soon, F10 is not gonna be able to do a lot soon, right? So let me put some of these. So for some reason, my mic is also not working. So I guess we don't get music today's stream. Sorry about that. If you like the music, I can't get it today, right? So that kind of stinks. But honestly, there's E's. Just having 2 new ones leaves me wanting more. Yeah, I like the E's a lot. It makes me sad that we only got 1. Clarissa who? Yeah, Kitty imprints. Yeah, she's still a Kitty imprint. We don't get music today. For some reason, it's not playing on my end. So I don't know why. I think I may have. Oh, I know why it's not playing. I'm stupid. Stupid. Yeah. Okay. I got you guys with the music. There we go. Okay. I don't know why it wasn't playing before, but it should be playing now. And hopefully it's not too loud for you guys. But okay. Let's go back. So yeah, Kitty Cat's still at 1. Storm is gonna copyright strike somehow. No, I don't know why. I think it's just people that I don't know. That's something for another day. But okay, Tanibria, I don't think you should pull for her. That's why I didn't make a worth it video. So sorry for the parts. So okay, as far as the Tanibria, it's not her meta, right? I don't pull for her. I didn't make a video today just because it's like, why would I make a video just about Tanibria? She's not doing too great right now, and there's already so much thing you should be saving your Covenants for. She's still good for Dark Expedition and for some Abyss stages. She's still really, really good, right? But for PvP, she has fallen off a lot. It's not her meta. I think she needed an EE. I still think she does need an EE, but it makes sense. As far as other things, this is just quality of life changes, nothing crazy. And then of course we got the preview. This preview was so cute. It's really cute. We're gonna watch it together. If you haven't watched it yet, we're gonna watch it together, and y'all are gonna see how cute this preview is, dude. It's so cute. I actually love it. I really want Violet to get the skin. And after this, we will go to the side a little bit and all the other ones that look super duper spicy. But yeah, and we'll talk about the new unit too. I forgot that there's a new unit. But yeah, this is the short that they put out for the storyline. I'm a big fan of the storyline. I know you may not be a big fan of the storyline, but I think it's really, really good. Also, telling the new 3-stars Lucy. Apparently, she's really good for the new hunt. But look at this, dude. Look at this. That's so cute. Look at Violet, dude. Oh my goodness. I'm so glad that they're coming back. They're actually my favorites. They're better than Ross and Mercedes, honestly. But this one looks very wholesome, right? There's no darkness that comes in. That's what's weird. There's always a bad guy that comes in to crash the festival. So it's kind of heartwarming that it's finally something that's nothing like breaking everything. But okay, now to what you guys probably came here for, which is going to be the updates. Particularly, you guys already know who we're gonna be talking about, and I already made a video about her. But there's been some stuff that we've been discussing in the Discord. The more I think about it, which is one of the reasons I didn't talk about it too much. But let's go to Emma Lilibet, and then we'll go to the new 3-star, and then the gear system, which is huge, dude. But let's look over the new Emma Lilibet, right? So this is the one that everyone's like, oh, this unit's crazy, right? So okay, let me read some of the stuff. SCC or Emma Lilibet? So that's the biggest question before we even get to Emma Lilibet. SCC versus Emma Lilibet. So I'm a meta slave, right? So I care about the meta a lot. Emma Lilibet is going to be a good unit whenever control is good. If control is good or there's a good control unit, Emma Lilibet will be good. FCC is always good. That's the thing. FCC is always going to be good. So between the two, of course, if you really like Emma Lilibet, I would go for the unit you really like. But if you're a meta sheep, if you really care about being the strongest at everything, SCC has insane play rates in arena defense. SCC has insane play rates in Guild Wars defense. SCC has insane play rates in RTA. SCC is a tried unit, and she's getting a skin, right? So FCC between her and Emma Lilibet, I don't think Emma Lilibet is gonna make a splash big enough to destroy it. And Emma Lilibet goes well in FCC teams. So overall, while she looks really cool and she is going to be good, it's like, would you pull for Emil Hayes over FCC? Emil Hayes is, again, a really strong unit. He counters RB, really good in the current meta, does really good in tank meta too. Emil Hayes is kind of slept on tank meta, did amazing in the previous meta, but would you pick that, having that, versus a unit that is literally used everywhere? Yeah, just get both, honestly. If you could, you should try to get both with anything. But if you can't, I would personally go for FCC. Nah, bro, FCC busted. Nah, Axler, get out of here. But yeah, it's FCC, dude. It's everything. I'm gonna tell you FCC. She's good. Don't get me wrong. It's just FCC's way better. Okay, so as far as the other one, the next balance system is gonna be on. That's gonna be for next week's video. I haven't thought about it, Benjamin. There's a lot of units that need buffing. Lucy's a 3-star. She literally is there for not expedition. She's there for the new hunt, for Katie's hunt. I mean, it's a 3-star, right? They're not gonna. They're usually 3-stars are usually tailored to a specific content. So the fact that you can even use her for content is good, right? So the fact that you can use her there is pretty spicy. So that's good. She looks cool. She looks cool. I don't think she's good for anything else besides the Katie's hunt. But if you really need help with Katie's hunt and you really want to farm C13, she looks like an option for you, like a free-to-play option. Her kit didn't impress me too much. Her artifact, though, looked really cool. The artifact looked really cool. I'm going to look over half for just one comp. All right, Jose, let's talk about Emma Lilibet because she has some things that are pretty good. It sounds like something Psycho would say. That what? That Emma is... I'm just saying, like, FCC is everywhere, bro. You need FCC. FCC is I would go for FCC. Alright. But now let's talk about Emma Lilibet and why I think FCC is the one you should go for if you're a meta sheep. But why Emma Lilibet is going to be a good unit as a whole. Kind of like Emma Hayes, not just to counter a certain unit, right? Because that's the thing. She does counter control, but that's not the only thing she does. There is something that you will see that will make you see her in a new light. So let's cover this, and this is something I didn't quite catch the last time. So of course, the ultimate is gorgeous, and yeah, she comes with a cat, Mimika. That's actually really funny. She does. So first, the base stats. There's one thing that a lot of people are disappointed about, and it's how low her defense is, because she does scale off of defense. So her damage is not gonna be as insane because her defense is not like F Maya's level, right? So I think F Maya has like considerably. I have so many types, dude. But I think if we go look at F Maya is another defense scaling unit. And her defense is like way higher. I don't know if RTA is disabled right now. They always mess up after updates, so I wouldn't be surprised. But let's look at a knight like F Maya, right? Who's another defense scaling unit. In comparison to her, it's a pretty big difference, right? Like 40 defense is a lot. That goes a long way. And she's also a defense scaling unit. That's almost 50. That's 50 defense, right? So that's a lot of defense that she doesn't have. But she does have way more HP than Fighter Maya does, right? And she gets that extra crit rate from her self-imprint. So it's still really, really strong. She'll still be really tanky. She'll still be really annoying. The other thing is going to be that I didn't talk about. It's not her passive. It's actually her S1. That I didn't catch this when I did the first impression video of her. But the more I think about it, the more I'm like, wow, that's actually really good. The S1 gives her 25 fighting spirit. That is something that I didn't realize at first. And the implications of this didn't actually start occurring to me until I started thinking, wait, if this unit is on counter set and you can get her to 180 speed, right? Which a lot of people will be able to do that, 180 speed on counter set with crit rate, right? And with like her self imprint. The silence is really good. On a counter set, when you counter, you get 25% fighting spirit. Every time you S1, that's 25 fighting spirit. What makes this super spicy is that you can get her passive quite often. Because one debuff, if you think of a whole team rotation, if one of your allies has one debuff, which they will, by the time your opponent takes a full turn, that's going to be 4 times, right? That will give her 20% fighting spirit. And this is already giving her 25% fighting spirit when she does her S1. And almost every unit in the meta has a debuff. FCC has a debuff. Estene has a debuff. Like every unit in the game right now has a debuff, right? So there's always going to be a debuff giving you that 5%. So you're basically getting 45% every turn. 45 to 50%. And if you counter, that's going to be like 50% plus. Which means every other turn, you're triggering this passive that gives her 50%, 40% combat readiness, right? That's pretty good. That makes her cycle like crazy. Even though she's a slow unit, slow because she's 106 base speed, she will be able to take a lot of turns against the opponent, which will make her a really annoying bruiser. And the more debuffs, the faster she's going to cycle this. The other thing is that her S3 also gives her a ton of fighting spirit, right? It's like, it gives her like 50, which essentially just procs her passive. If they didn't proc the passive for you, this will proc her passive. Yeah, it gives you 50 fighting spirit. So if they don't debuff you, right? Let's say you take her for some reason against a non-debuff team. If you take her up against a non-debuff team, you start the fight, she takes her turn, she gets a 40% boost on her own after she does her S3, right? So she can take a lot of turns, which I like that. I like bruisers that get speed. Think Ravi, right? She's kind of like a Ravi where she's going to be able to take a lot of turns and doesn't necessarily base it too much off of the opponent. So that's good, right? So overall, I think that's good, right? The S1, I see why counter set is going to be really popular in her because the fact that she gets 25% CR makes her really good. The fact that you can't really lock her down makes her really, really good. It makes her be able to take a ton of turns. So all in all, she's a very well-made unit. Just her presence alone will probably... Okay, before I get to this conversation, this is something that I get a lot of comments in my videos, particularly negative comments. And you may be one of the ones that leaves it there just to let me know. And I appreciate those comments. But one of the things that you guys tell me a lot is you think that everyone's going to get an ML 5-star hero. And you're making predictions off of ML 5-star hero. You have to remember that in Arena and RTA and every content that I do, it's like top end level, right? So yes, people at end level will have, you have to assume will have it, right? So while you may not feel it in Challenger Arena or Challenger RTA, it will definitely make an effect higher up and eventually trickle down, right? Like CZ Bologna, I guarantee you, if I go to Masters defenses in Arena, she's still going to be everywhere. And people in lower ranks of RTA use Seaside all the time. But the higher you go up, the rarer it becomes, right? Because more people have counters. So just because it's a hard to get unit doesn't mean that they're not going to have an impact particularly higher up. So that's just something I want to let you guys know, especially for the people that like are always like asking like, oh, you're making like this meta changes even though the unit's not going to be there. You guys said that about Assassin Cartuja, right? Because when Viseria came out, Assassin Cartuja disappeared, right? Essentially from everywhere. Assassin Cartuja was gone once Viseria was there, even though she was an ML 5-star hero. So yes, just because they're ML 5-star doesn't mean they won't have an impact. You always have to assume that the other player will have access to her. So at high level, it will make a difference. Her being here will make Cerise F10 and not be as strong, right? So the F10 Cerise that are in Arena, that are in Guild Wars, that are in all these other places are not going to be that good anymore. That's not going to be the best defense anymore. I think Police is going to be one of the best defensive units right now because this is going to push out F10A because this can deal with F10A really easily. And particularly in Guild Wars, when you think about things like F10A, Arbiter Vildred, Cerise, if you've done Guild Wars at any level, right, you probably have run into this defense at least once, if not all the time, because that's the only freaking thing they put in Fortresses, and I never have any way to deal with it. Because I'm a baddie, right? But this unit will stop those defenses because if you put this against F10 and Cerise and F10 will both go. She will cut in right before Arbiter Vildred, use her S3, reset Arbiter Vildred, and then it's like nothing happened. It's essentially like Arbiter Vildred versus your team, right? So there's that. Also, Kitsune, you'd be surprised at how many people thought. I don't want to go through it, but if you look at any YouTube video when Last Order Croc came out, everyone thought it was bad. It wasn't just Psycho. The first 3 weeks, everyone thought he was bad. It was like near the last week that people realized, okay, this unit's actually kind of broken, right? After the Shogun tournament, that's when people started realizing it. A lot of people still think he's bad. And a lot of people, in any YouTube comment at the time when Last Order Croc was released, even the people hyping him up, people were saying he was too weak. So you'd be surprised. A lot of people didn't know that. But let me see some of the other things that you guys have been talking about. All 3 limited waifus. Pasli Mohammed, I wish you luck, bro. I hope you can get all 3 of them. The S3 is, yeah, there's a lot of fighting spirit in her kit. But the fact that she does come after FCC, less people will have her because her kit is good. I'm not trying to hype her down at all. She is going to destroy a lot of things. But the fact of the matter is, FCC just came out this week. And FCC is always going to be in the meta relevant until they release a unit that has absolutely destroyed her. Like, Landy and Operator Sigurd have definitely helped in that department. But FCC still sees a ton of play, right? Versus Emma Lilibet will not see as much play. I would think FCC is the unit I would use my pity on. I would think it's the one I would go with is FCC. Personally. But if you really like waifu and you really hate control, then this is your option, right? If you really hate control, she's a good option against control. But the thing about it is, she herself can't stop a control team, especially a bruiser team. All right, so this is where we're going to go into the weaknesses of the character, which I didn't get to discuss too much in the video. Because this character has some weaknesses that we need to talk about. Because what you have to realize is that slow bruiser teams don't really care too much about her, right? She has to take a turn. And the way she gets it relies on your the way she gets focused relies on your opponent taking the turn. So if you have a slow control team, for example, the control team I've been playing around with, which sets up for a Tywin being the last unit to do the attack. Or let's say you just hold on to your A Tywin S3 and just go for an S1, right? It's not going to do much in those scenarios, right? So against slow control teams, it's not going to do a lot in those scenarios. There's also things like our team and Mercedes. And I know a lot of people like to rip on our team and Mercedes, but she's actually really good. And with the current meta, I think she's going to be even better. Since she's slow, she can actually stop Emma Lilibet a lot earlier, right? You have units like a Tywin that really don't care that much about her, right? Basar is still pushing you back 30%. You still have follow-up after Basar. She does not get enough combat readiness to cut into a Basar. If you use Basar Soulburn S3, right, and you don't have an Abyssal Crown, he does the S3, he pushes your whole team back. She only gets 20% at the end of every turn. So you get Basar, she'll get 20, the next unit she'll get 20, and then you get the next unit. That's a full follow-up. So while it is really good, she mostly punishes things like F10A and Cerise. You can definitely play around her as a control player, which is why control will not be dead. It's just going to be like fast control is not going to be doing too good. So Cerise, it's probably arguably the unit that got hit the hardest is going to be Cerise and F10A because they stack up so many debuffs. Like this is way too many debuffs. You're not going to have a lot of follow-up after Cerise. F10A, you're not going to have that much follow-up after F10A before the Athletica, not Litica. How are we going to call it? Dill? Dill? Is that what it is? Dill? Dill. We're going to call it Dill. Because it's Lilibet, and it's the signer Lilibet, so Dill. Dill will cut into an F10, right? Because F10 just stacks up to too many debuffs, and she'll just be able to cut in, right? So her with Champ C are going to destroy a lot of teams. But it's not an NLBO to control. Now, that's some of the weaknesses that she does have is that she does lose to certain of those units. If you put her and Champ C, then yes, that will stop most control players. Right? No unit is just an NLBO. Like Polides on her own does not stop Cleave. Polides with someone else stops Cleave. Right? You have to remember that. A unit by themselves can't stop a whole archetype, but they can definitely make it a lot harder for them. So just remember that. So let me see some of the stuff you all can talk about. And then the next thing we're going to talk about Emma a little bit is implications to the meta. And then we'll talk about the question that you guys are asking me a lot about, which is going to be the balance changes. We'll get into that later on. But let me see some of the things of what you guys are talking about. Eros is really good, dude. I keep playing with Eros. I'm going to use my Peter on FCC and I'll untap Lilibet. Oh, yeah. Dude, that's what I hope for, too. I'm still pulling for an FCC, dude, actually. Salibidas, we'll get to the balance adjustments later. If I don't get to it today, it will be in a video sometime this week. Why do you think they changed the AP ratio so many heroes? I don't know why. I guess it's just quality of life changes and to make everything match Sajanks. That's probably why. Her and MC will be really good. Gear being good now. Oh, Emma Lily. Yeah. The winner performance just look a hella small. I don't know, dude. I don't know why they would do that. I think the other thing we're going to get to is the gear conversion, which is... I want to get to the update stuff first, and then we'll talk about the speculations, like future changes to heroes, right? You hit pity on the trio banner. Should I get my unit? Should I just get my unit and give up? Do you have enough to pity for another unit, Eric? I personally would just try to see and wait until the last week. You already know what's coming for the next 2 weeks. There's nothing coming for the next 2 weeks. That's like super important. So you could probably keep going a little bit more on the limited banner. I mean, they're not coming around for a long time. This same Barret? No, we're calling her Dill. This is Dill, right? Dillibet? Dillibet. Or just Dill. Can we just call her Dill? It's just Dill, right? Can we agree that it's just Dill? Can we just agree it's Dill, bro? I feel like it's just Dill. But yeah, there's definitely a lot of stuff she'll be able to do, especially with the fighting spirit. Her fighting spirit stacks up like this, which is what I think is crazy. She's already good. I don't think she needs to attack defense mode. I think she's fine. She already does a lot. Dill, bro, how do you call her? Dill works, yeah. Dilly? All right, Dilly. We'll do Dilly. D-Lil? D-Lil? Okay. I'll do D-Lily. D-Lily, but it's too long, dude. Millibet? Nah, bro. Dilly. We're gonna call her Dillybet. So, or just Dilly. So, Dilly, overall, has a lot of potential. And here's the thing about Dilly. Okay, you guys are gonna hate me for calling her Dilly. You already hate how I say Deannie. Because it's Deanne. It's not Deannie. Nah, it's Deannie, bro. Get out of here. Alright, let's talk about Dilly, right? So there's some meta implications for RTA and for Arena as a whole that I kind of hate this, but it is what it's gonna be. We're gonna be seeing another Brewster SmackDown because of Dilly. So Dilly coming out will make it so Brewster will be the big playstyle again. Brewster / tank is going to be the dominant playstyle again. Because all these teams are always in a balance, right? And every time something gets a buff, something gets more dominant, right? When Polides came out, Cleave is still doing fine lower ranks, right? But it's not doing as hot higher up. Because with it, then now, okay, you had Polides, so now Cleave is not as good, so then they do Cleave control. So the meta right now is Brewster control, and just tank, right? So right now, Cleave is like the least played. Control is very powerful right now, and Brewster is very powerful right now. With Dilly being in the mix, I think Control will take another big hit, and we're gonna start seeing full Brewster teams again. Because the thing about it is Brewsters now have counters to every single playstyle in their arsenal while still keeping their control, their core safe. Because think about this, if you lock in FCC and Last Rider Crawl, you have not only a ton of utility, you also have damage, and if your opponent tries to go in for control, like with a Bazaar or a Briar Witch Iceria, you now have things like Lilibet, you have things like Champ C, you have things like F Maya that still fit into your playstyle, that can still do damage, supplement different parts, and counter that playstyle. So now Brewsters have the biggest toolkit yet again. Like they did not have as many counters to Cleave and Control, so they're starting to fall off. But with the introduction of Dilly, Brewster teams will have all the things in the toolbox to become meta again. So we are going to be seeing another Brewster meta come back. So we come full circle. We ended a tank meta. We went back to aggro meta. Then we went to like Cleave control. Then we're to control Brewster control, like overall just control with F10A. And now we're going to be back to Brewster meta. That is my prediction. We're actually all the way coming full circle back to Brewster teams. And at the end of RTA, when people don't want to lose points, they're going to be going back to full tank teams. And we're going to see it come full circle. Even with the RTA changes, Bruiser teams will still come out on top because they have so many tools in the arsenal now. There are so many good units that fit into Bruiser teams so well. Landy with Guiding Light, so good in a Bruiser team. Briar Witch Iceria in the Bruiser v Bruiser matchup is amazing. Lilibet, really good against Briar Witch Iceria in all control teams. F Maya, GMC, like there's so much good things that it's actually going to be coming full circle, and we're gonna be going back forward. And Kitsune, yeah, it's DN. I know it's DN, but I just like DN, bro. I just like DN, but it's gonna be Dilly. The Lilibet Shinsu, that's so weird. But let me see some of the things they're saying. I'm just gonna say Dilly, bro. Dilly's way quicker. F-Clear Eros complete, yeah, bro. F-Clear Ross is also gonna be really good. I mean, every time there's Bruiser meta, F-Clear Ross are always gonna be stomping. But Mortalex might actually start seeing pop up a little bit. Bruiser tank meta is coming back, makes me so happy. I mean, I'm not gonna complain. You know, I had my fun with control. I had my fun with aggro. Bruisers is just always gonna go back. F10 is now doing great. Cleave meta would be boring. Yeah, I mean, Cleave meta it's never been Cleave meta. It was Cleave control for a little bit. Cleave control was trying to be pretty good. But we've come through Silco. Bruiser will be the predominant playstyle. But there is something that I am happy about overall, is that Bruisers will not be as oppressive as they were before. And I'll tell you guys why. But yeah, she's a Bruiser. She's a Bruiser. She's a return to mouse. Can be crucial last pick. Yeah, she's a super good last pick, right? But one thing that I like now versus last meta is that even though we are going back to Bruiser meta, there is more tools in the kit to counter Bruiser meta, as well as just Frenzy as a whole, making it faster. Which is what's something that I it's something that I like, but it will make RTA more unit intensive. You're gonna have to have a lot more units built, because now you're gonna be seeing a lot of different playstyles. Because okay, let's think Cleavers, right? Cleave players just got Pavel buffed, and there's definitely some speed cleaves that can do really well. Operator Sigrid has been stomping and dominating in Cleave teams right now. She's probably the best tool you can have as a cleaver right now, because she's able to easily get past Bruisers and make them not have a good day. And the thing about it is she gets around units like fucking Akuri, which is something that Bruiser teams typically use to try to reach her, right? So Operator Sigrid has actually become a really powerful unit in the current meta. Briar Witch Iceria, people can't just tank up with buffs with Last Rider Craw and SCC if they don't have Briar Witch and Bazaar. And this is for control players. Briar Witch Iceria is such a good option because you can pick her and Bazaar now. Before, we just had Bazaar, and it was easy as just picking Holiday Euphine. But because of Briar Witch Iceria's passive, you can actually hit things like Holiday Euphine. And I've seen people put their Bicerias on even things like Symbol of Unity if they're able to get the speed up high enough. So that way they will always hit on units like Holiday Euphine. And Rylet will be kept in check as well. So Briar Witch Iceria, again, gonna be really, really good to counter a lot of these heavy buff, these heavy tank teams, right? So that's gonna be really, really good this meta. There's also the option of using Landy. If they don't have a way to strip your buffs and you pick your own Bruiser team, Landy will just eat their team apart. She has proven to be just such a good unit, right? So Cleave and Control still have ways to compete in the meta. Of course, Bruisers will always benefit from having a big champion pool. If you're a Bruiser player and you get things like the new Lilibet or the Dilly, I already forgot how to call her, Dilly. If you get the new Dilly as a Bruiser player, well, now you have a way to deal with those control units like Briar Witch Iceria and Bazaar, and you can pick the Holiday Euphine. So the game is going to become a lot more about your draft than just Bruisering your opponent out. Lilibet. Not Lilibet, bro. Oh my goodness. And yes, Jake, Operator Sigrid is becoming a really strong unit. Oh my goodness. I feel like I messed up. Y'all are going to call me all the time. But yeah, so overall, even though we are going back to Bruiser, and if you have played recently, Bruiser is the thing that most people are gravitating towards. There are a lot more options for Bruiser teams, for tank teams, and control teams and Cleave teams are not dead. They have things in their toolbox that they can also tap into to do better in this meta. So overall, we are going back to Bruiser meta. What a surprise. You know, it always comes back full circle. It's always going to be Bruiser meta at the end, especially when RTA gets crazy. So that'll be fun, but just know that, you know, overall, especially one caveat that I will say, if you're a lower rank, you probably still will struggle with Cleave, so make sure you have your Cleave counters. Lower down, you probably will still see a lot of Cleave. But yeah, dude, Operator Sigrid's really good, especially the speed build. Lilibet best girl. I mean, I'm gonna try to pull for her if I even have bookmarks, because I'm trying to pull a dupe. And we'll talk about it in a second. But as far as Lilibet, that's my discussion on her. Even though she may not seem like she's insane, she is a very strong counter pick. And if you're a bruiser player or a tank player, you should highly consider picking her up, because you will need her in the coming days if you are trying to be like super competitive in RTA. Small aside, I don't want to spend too much time on this because we still have to get to the gear system, which I think is... I'm happy but scared at the same time of the new substat gear change, and we'll talk about why in a second. And we'll talk about some other stuff, why I'm even trying to pull for SCC dupes. But one thing you guys should know, if you had a dream of getting to Legend, if you're one of those players that you're right now, you're starting low champion, I'm going to tell you right now, squash that dream right now. You are not getting to Legend this season. I don't know why. Legend players are masochistic, but we are still over 2 weeks out. It's at least 2 weeks, if not 3 weeks out from the season ending. And they have pushed the Legend cutoff to 3,200. Like, why? I personally don't have time to play like 20 matches a day. Like, my win rate could get me to Legend, but I can't play 50 matches a day, bro. Like, come on, dude. Why y'all gotta push this up so high? 3,244. So if you ever had the dream of getting to Legend in RTA, unless you really have all the time in the world or you have an insane win rate, squash your dreams right now, real quick. Hopefully you got the pick in early season like I did. I can say I'm a Legend player because I got the pick early on. But it is insane, dude. It's so insane. I have a couple of friends in the Discord that are in Legend, and they tell me they are playing like 20 to 30 games, and they say I will lose one game and go from top 50 to 90 in one fight, one loss. That is so stressful, dude. I would not want to be in that situation. We'll see. If we once we finish FCC, I'll probably play just for fun. But if you have dreams of getting to Legend late season, squash the dreams right now. Unless you're insanely OP, you're not getting there, right? So I'll try to always get to my personal highest, which is 300 usually. But yeah, not great. Does she have any use in PvE? I think she's okay for PvE. Probably Abyss for some Abyss stages. I think that's the only place you could be in PvE would be some of those Abyss stages where you would need some of those stuff. But it's not bad. Farming expedition for a speed substat. Yeah, that's what we're going to talk about in a second. But, alright. I need a quick water break, but we're going to get to a gearing system. Because that's the other really big thing that I am a little worried about, but I see why it's going to be okay. But I'm still a little worried about, right? So let's talk about it. A lot of people are excited for this, including myself, right? Because there's some things that are really, really good, right? So how do we start this off, right? So let me answer the questions before I get into this. Yeah, if you don't care about rank, you can easily get the FCC skin. Lilibet for Golem? Maybe. I mean, I don't know why, but she's fine. I mean, I don't think she needs PvE usage. She does her job as counter control. She probably does have some PvE uses. But right. Let's talk about this change. So most people are very hype about this. The equipment substat adjustment preview. But I am personally a little worried about it. So first, let's talk about what it is. How are you going to be able to get this in 2 months? Because it's coming out in April. So not next month, 2 months from now. So there's still some time to prepare. And what are some gears you need to start looking for now that will be OP in the future? So don't sell gear right now. You need to consciously think in the future, can you change the gear substat in the future? But let's talk about it. Essentially what they did is, you know when you have a plus 15 piece of gear and you always have that one substat that just makes it not look godly? Or let's say FRES. You know, maybe you're unlucky and you're always rolling FRES and you have it on more pieces and it's sometimes rolled one time, but it's like a 15 speed piece, but it has all these terrible, like it has this terrible substat and it rolled all into the other substat and it's just like, it just looks ugly. Well, they're changing that. They're making it so when you have a plus 15 piece of gear, you can now adjust the substat to something that you want, right? So what this means is that you can make any subset that you want. And yes, I like how you're putting up the thing about Summoner's War, because I have said it in the past And everyone in my Discord attacked me. The second I said I was not excited for this update, half the Discord just attacked me, right? But let me tell you guys why I'm a little bit skeptical and worried depending on the implementation of the system and with the ratios. The set is at 85%, but in the pictures here, that looks like 100% conversion rate, right? Which is kind of insane if it's actually 100% conversion rate. Even 85% conversion rate is really good. But a lot of people are hype about this. So what's good, what's bad, and how do you get it, right? So how do you get it? Let's answer that first. So you can modify your substats. That's pretty cool, right? You can make your OP piece of gear. That's cool and all, but I'll tell you guys why I'm a little bit skeptical and worried about this. How are you going to get this? And you can see it here. You can make it speed, right? And you can even adjust it. Wow, I didn't know you could adjust that. That's really interesting. You could even adjust it to higher values. I didn't even notice this. Chain says, assume just however this will get a lower stat than the player can benefit from regular enhancement. That's crazy. But okay, let's talk. It's 85% of the max stat, by the way. For the change, it's 85% of the max stat. So for example, the reason why on this picture it's 10% to 14%, even though you only have 14% effectiveness, is because this is based on the roll value. It looks like. So let's say you low roll 2 times into HP. Or into FRS, you low roll. Well, it doesn't matter. It's just the max roll value. The max roll value you could actually have gotten from HP rolling twice is 16%. So this is about 85%. It's going to be 14%, right? That's super powerful. So you can literally change your substats, which is just insane to me, especially if it's a low roll. Let's say you low roll Effectress, but let's say you low roll 2 times into FRS, but everything else rolled golly, right? You can now make that FRS change into something you want with the max, like the 85% of the maximum substat, which is above average rolling, which is insane. You can make way better gear, like insanely better gear. And I'll show you guys some of the gear that I have that I'm just like, this is going to be ridiculous for this type of gear. So how do you acquire these gear pieces? They are going to be dropping randomly from Expedition 2 and 3, but particularly level 3. Everyone has to start getting an Expedition level 3 team right now. You need to get Expedition level 3 teams because to get the maximum value and to get the most out of your farming, you need to be farming Expedition 3. Now, they did make it easier, right? They did drop a lot of the stuff, but you need to start making your Expedition level 3 teams right now because that is how you're going to get these OP change stones, is through Expedition. Particularly level 2 and level 3. No more spamming level 1s just to get it done. You actually need to try to do level 3 as much as possible. So you have 1 month to prepare for this. You can't leech anymore. No, you actually want to try to do this, right? This is very important. And hey, what's up, Cam? This is huge. I will definitely be working on March for the Expedition teams and get you guys Expedition teams that can help you. I can tell you right now, Landy is going to be a unit you want to have. If you want to be a good Expedition, Landy's really good Expedition right now. So make sure you're trying to get Landy. I think Landy, out of all the 3 limiteds out that are out right now, you want to try to get Landy right now because she will help you a lot for Blue Expedition and Dark Expedition. So make sure you're getting your Landy. I tried Landy on Dark Expedition 2, and I'm doing like 800k easy with Landy. And Cerise, of course, but we don't talk about that. But F Clury is really good. Yeah, F Clury as well, right? So F Clury, Landy. I will be making guides. I will be working really hard next April on Expedition teams to get you guys guides and get you guys prepared for the next month because you need to have your Expedition teams ready. You need to be ready for this. If you're not ready for this, it's going to come. It's going to mess you up. You're going to cry. You're going to come to me. How come these whales are so much better than me? And I'm going to be like, well, what's your Expedition level 3 team? And you'll be like, I don't do PvE. And I'll be like, well, that's your problem. So lots, another unit you want to look for. Ruana, Tama, of course, always Tama. Luluka, I am so sad that they didn't reveal this before the Luluka banner went away. But if you have a Luluka, consider building your Luluka. I am building my Luluka. She is that good. I am going to be building PvE teams next month. Right, so the start of March, I am focusing solely on building my Expedition teams because I need to be ready with Expedition, particularly 3, right? No, the new one is not a budget Cerise. It's something a little bit different than Cerise. Cerise is still way better. So Yoni, they actually did make a Reforge map pack. It was just the value of the pack was so terrible, no one bought it. But they did make a Reforge pack. But all right, let's talk. So that outside of the way, this is gonna be huge. But now let's talk about the positives and the negatives. Positives of the system. You can get really well optimized units, so you can put a lot of work into units that you really like. It also makes the system of gear a lot easier. You can get good gear a lot easier. Rolling all into FRS is not even bad anymore, because if you let's say you roll into FRS 5 times, right? Let's just assume. Let's say you have an OP DPS gear and you happen to roll all into FRS. Have you been there? Because I've definitely been there, right? You quintuple roll into FRS. Well, if you get a speed change substat stone, that 5 times roll into FRS can become a 24 speed piece. Or a 20 speed piece, because it's 85% of the max value you could have gotten. The max value you could have gotten is like 30 or like 28. So that means you can get up to like 20 to 24 speed. That's crazy. That's crazy, right? So like rolling all into one stat is crazy now. Even if it's a stat you don't want, because you can just make OP speed gear. 23 speed. That's insane, dude. That is so broken, right? It doesn't matter if you low roll 5 times either. If you low roll 5 times, from what it looks like, it only takes the value of the max potential roll. Because here you see you can get 14% health, because 14%, the max you could have gotten in this scenario would have been 16%. But because it takes it off of the max value you could have gotten, it goes up to all to 14. That's crazy, dude. Like, I get that, but it just makes it so like not all gear is trash now. So the positive is going to be you can make a lot more OP gear. There's also gear fixing. You can optimize unit. You know how you have all those units that are always missing like 5% crit? Well, you can just change one of the substats to crit rate. Boom, you got your 100% crit rate unit now, right? You can optimize unit to an insane level. That's a good positive, right? But now let's talk about the negatives. And these are the negatives that people don't talk about, but I'm going to talk about, because if you've come from Summoner's War, you probably don't like the system, right? All my Summoner's War people are probably out here like, I don't like this King Blair. I am not a fan, right? There's a lot of people that are probably thinking this, right? Especially Summoner's War people. And let's talk about why, because that's the only other game that we can compare to that has this exact same system pretty much. But let me see the other stuff. I don't know if the answer changed. From the pictures, I don't know the information at Minio, but from this picture, it doesn't look like low rolls will even affect it. So, Uni, I know there was, I don't know what pack it was. I think it was the gear pack. Uni, you know the pack that you could buy gear? It also came with a couple of Reforged mats. It wasn't economic, so no one bought it. And no one wanted to buy the gear packs. But the gear packs used to have Reforged materials in them. By the way, just so you knew, they used to have it, actually. Never Reforged. They included it, not a Reforged pack, they included it in the equipment pack, and they only included like 100, so it wasn't something that like broke the game. But people have a lot of weird gear that they keep, right? He's building up PvE units. I know, dudes. I know, I'm actually building. Luluka is insane for expeditions. She's so good for expeditions. Sorry that I haven't been reading the chat as much. But yeah, I am going to be building PvE units. But let's get to the negatives. But yes, you can leech off your friends if your friends will let you, and you will still get the drops. It's not based on the damage. It's probably going to be just based on if you clear it or not. So you can probably still leech, but don't be a leech. No one likes the leeches. Let's be real. No one likes the leeches. You'll stop getting invited as much. But you might start looking for it now. And if you kept pieces that rolled really bad, you can start looking into it now. But, alright. How are my Gav gamers? No, get out of here, Gav gaming. Oh my goodness. We don't like Gav around these parts. We don't know an RV in these parts. I'm just kidding. But Landy's really good. Landy and Tamarine are really good. But okay, let's talk about the negatives of the system, because this is something that everyone kind of overlooks. And I was getting it. This system is in Summoner's War. And I personally quit Summoner's War right after a very similar update to this happened. I really hope it doesn't happen in Epic 7. So there's some speculation, and then there's some actual negatives overall. So on the speculation side of this is if they include a pack. Now, I don't think they will do this, because that will make this system pay to win. Because these drops are random. But if they make a pack where you can choose what you get, then it's pay to win, and then it just creates a terrible environment in RTA and Arena and everything, right? So hopefully they don't do a pack for that. That's speculation. They may not do that. I hope they don't. But on the other side, things that we know now. Things that will affect you now. Whenever you get something where you can take away an RNG aspect and get to high levels of optimization. Whenever you can optimize to a crazy level, you start getting, the game doesn't feel as casual and fun to play. When you introduce optimization to a game, it stops being about having fun and it starts being about optimizing stuff. And it happens in a lot of different games. If you've ever been competitive in any game, whether it's League of Legends or Smash or anything like that, you know that optimization is everything. And it does lose some value in that early feeling of just having fun, right? Because you're frustrated, you're having to micromanage different stones, you're having to look at millions of gear, you're having to like download apps that optimize your gear for you to get the best possible piece of gear, to make the best unit possible. That optimization, while it is fun for some people, for people like me, I don't personally like that. I know there's a gear optimizer out there, and I haven't downloaded it just because I don't want to take the game to that level where it feels like a job or something that I have to do. But this is going to force me because I have to choose what I want to use this gear of optimization. It's actually going to become something where you have to optimize your units. Because the thing about it is if you don't optimize your units, someone else will. Someone else is taking the time to optimize their units. Someone else is making sure they're getting those OP RBs, OP units. And you're going to have to play against them in high levels arena if you're trying to climb in arena, or if you're trying to climb in RTA. And in future PvE content, Smilegate may take this into account and make content even harder because it should be like, you should be able to have this gear, right? So it causes a lot of problems down the line from the gameplay experience part of the game. Now, is it going to get to a point where it's like this? Maybe, maybe not, right? But there's a good chance that it's going to get to this level of optimization. Official Discord, they do it for me. Oh, that's cool that they do it for you, but it's not something I enjoy. You may enjoy it, and I definitely will be using this system, but it's going to be hard for me to keep playing at a competitive level if I don't download all these gear optimizers, right? You can no longer be a free-to-play chill dude. I'm not free-to-play, by the way, in case you're wondering. But you can't, it's going to be a lot harder for a free-to-play chill guy to get super high anywhere. Because if you're not optimizing, you're not going to get there because everyone else will. It's similar to Reforge. If you're not reforging, you're falling behind, right? So this will create another gap from early game players to late game players, right? And it will also create blocks of frustration for players that were already hard stuck in Challenger or in Masters, because everyone else around them will be doing that. And they will be hard stuck even more if they don't also do the optimization, right? So it's making the game a lot harder for early game players. It's adding a lot more layers of difficulty that people don't realize that, yes, RNG sucks to deal with, but now you have to deal with different RNG. Because you have to realize, now let's look at some sample gear that I have, right? And I have some really good pieces. Let's say, for example, I'm going to show you guys this hypothetical piece, right? And then you guys will see where the system can just start becoming overwhelming and create insane level of gear, right? So let me look at one piece that I'm like, this piece is really strong, right? And I know it's strong, and I know it has like all this stuff that's super, super good, but it had a problem with it. So if we look at something like this, for example, just to show you guys the level of optimization that can be obtained. Not this one. Where is it? It should be a level 90. I don't think anyone has that unit on them. Wait, hold up. Or that piece of gear on them. That's defense percentages. So I don't think it was this one. Where is it? Why can't I find the piece that I wanted to show you guys? Essentially, it's a really high defense percentage piece. Even something like this, right? I can now change this to speed. This effectiveness. I can now make this speed. And this would be like 14 speed. 12, 14 speed. Because this rolled like 3 times into this, right? So the max speed I could have gotten would have been 20 or not 20. So I can get 15 speed right here. I can now make a 15 speed piece with 7% crit rate, 21% defense. And if you do this for all your pieces of gear, you can start seeing why that could be like huge. Let me find another piece that I'm like, this piece right here, My BBK, my biggest problem is I can't get my this piece is really good. It has a ton of defense and it could be really good for a bruiser. The only problem this piece had is I don't have crit rate on this piece. Now I can just come in with my reforge or my change substat. I can make this effectiveness now be crit rate. This can be 9% crit rate, for example. This could be 9% crit rate. Now. And then this is like, now this can be like 9% crit rate. This piece that didn't have any crit rate, I can do that for that. And I can have pieces of gear all around my unit that look like this. That look like super strong in one stat, but one terrible substat that makes it not as OP. I can change all that gear, and let's say I decide to change it to crit rate. Let's say I have 6 godlike pieces like this one, and I change all these stats that I didn't like before to crit rate. I can have a 100% crit rate unit with insane substats. You can start seeing where that could start getting to a point where like, that you'll be getting about like, let's say you just get the low value. Let's say you get 4% crit, 3% crit rate on all your pieces. That's 18% crit rate you were missing before. If you get the high value, that's 24% crit rate that you were missing before from all your pieces that may have rolled poorly. Let me go back to the other one. Apparently I did the math wrong. Let me see. It's 85% of the max value. Did this really roll 2 times? No, I rolled 3 times into effectiveness. I don't know what y'all are saying. It only rolled 2 times into effectiveness. This rolled 3 times into effectiveness. It rolled 2 times into... Oh, it rolled once into crit rate. I see why. So it rolled once into crit rate, once into... twice into effectiveness, twice into defense. Okay. Yeah, so it'd be 9 speed. That's still really good. 9 speed is still really good. 9 speed. And that's assuming low value, right? Because... No, that's about right. So 9, 10 speed, arguably. That's still really good, dude. 9 and then post reforge. You have to remember this is pre reforge, right? Post reforge will be 11. So that's kind of crazy, dude. I don't know how I feel about that. You know, it's player by player. I definitely will be benefit. I have more than one piece of gear that I'm just like one substat away from being like insanely good piece. I can look at any unit. Like, let's look at my Rylet. I think I have a piece on my Rylet that I'm just like, if this was crit damage, this piece would be so much better. Like, see, I have 20% FRES, right? I have some FRES here. This can now be attack percentage. So I can get 5% more attack percentage here. This is fine. This can be critical, like 10 critical hit damage, 9, 10 critical hit damage. Maybe like 12, right? 12 critical hit damage. That's gone now. So I get like 5% more attack and I get 12% more critical hit damage. And that's just those 2 pieces, right? I can go here. Let's say I didn't want this. I could change it. Let's say for this one, like, you guys can see where it could get really, really crazy, right? You guys can see how this could get really, really optimized. And if you're not doing this on all your units, whales will. I guarantee you, whales will. Even dolphins will. Anyone that's competitive will be doing this, right? I don't know if it's only level 90 gear. How much have they released about that? Let me see what they said on the stream. Nope, it's 15% enhanced equipment for all levels. It does not matter for 90 gear. It's only as long as it's plus 15. It's any plus 15. So I could do that on a... Oh, you guys know these swords? Wait. You guys know these swords? These swords got a huge buff. Let me find the sword. This sword, I can make this critical hit damage now. That's pretty lit. This can now be 7 to 8% critical hit damage. These type of swords now became insane attacks, like damage swords. Think about that. Every time you get one of these, you can change it to critical hit damage. Bro, all great swords are broken now. All raid swords, there's no health. Or let's say you wanted to make a bruiser. This can now be defense. Bro, what? Oh no, you can't make defense. Forget I said defense. You can't make it defense. It's a sword, you can't put defense. This can be flat attack. Or this can be flat defense or flat health. Or flat health, my bad, flat health. You can make this flat health. That's crazy, dude. That's crazy. You guys know like the free-to-play pieces? Let me see if I can find one of them. That's like, for me, that's like super doo-doo. Let me see if I can find one of my pieces that turned out super doo-doo. That was like the attack set ones. Yeah, like all these pieces. Like this. I can't do much on this one though. I don't know what I would change that to. I guess I'm still kind of screwed on these because I don't know what I can change that to. They already have all the other substats. Something like this though. This can now be speed or something, right? So like you can actually change some of those ugly stats. This, bro, I'm gonna change this so fast to like critical hit damage. At least it'll make it usable, right? This can be flat attack. So, oh yeah, the lifesteal, bro. Oh my goodness, let me see those lifesteal pieces that were always like kind of sus. You can make all of these like, see like something like this, dude. This piece could be so much more. I can now make this crit rate, bro. Think about this, bro. Think about this. This is crit rate. This becomes like at least 10% crit rate, if not like 13, 14%, like 10 at least 10% crit rate. This is a less 10% crit rate. That's huge. This piece just became super good. That's super good, dude. Like, I don't know, dude. It's just crazy. So, all in all, optimization is gonna get to insane levels when this patch drops, which is a big negative. If you like optimizing your units, that's a positive for you. That's a positive for you. And what do you mean it's no way? That's gonna be 10%, bro. It's 85% of the max value stat it could have gotten, Yuen. It's 85% of the max value it could have gotten. 2 rolls max crit rate is 15%, bro. You have to start with 5%. Think about that. You're forgetting that initial 5%. You're forgetting the base stat, Yuen. And you don't take away the base stat. Conversion rate based on the subs max roll, yes. But you're saying it's 10% crit rate, but you're also forgetting that you have base 5%. It doesn't take away your base and 85%, right? That's not what it does. It doesn't take away the initial roll, right? It doesn't make your gear purple gear. I don't think that's what it does. It's just 85%. That's what someone says, 85% of the max value, right? Unless I'm wrong. Maybe you read something I didn't, Yuen, and you can link me and correct me. I appreciate any correction. But you said that's not going to be 10% crit rate. It rolled twice into effectiveness. Unless it rolled once, and I'm messing up my math again. But I thought it rolled twice. 100% would be insane. But I don't know. It's still like, regardless, it's a crazy change. It's an amazing change. It's going to be crazy. 57% is reforged. But, I mean, you can do it with plus 15. So, I mean, that also takes into account crit rate reforge. I'm pretty sure. Again, once we get more information, this is still in the works. They could change it. They could change certain things. We don't know if this is going to be final. They could make it less. They could make it more. They could make it harder to get. But just know that farming expeditions became way more important. And expeditions take energy, which means that more things you have to spend energy on. Yes, hunts get you expeditions, and you can get your friends to do your expeditions. But you're overall going to have to do more expeditions if you want to get a certain subset change. It helps everyone, but the thing about it, it's like it helps the people that are going out and optimizing more. So people that like to optimize more are going to do better. Also, yes, RIP, because I definitely threw away a lot of gear pieces that like rolled insane for like stats I didn't, but had terrible stats, and I threw those pieces away. So kind of sucks if you throw away gear, but it's going to change gearing for everything. I would say F. Clury is a big one. Luluka, if you have her, is another big one. Landy is a really, really good one that does 2. Lots, if you don't have a Iceria. Tama is, again, really good in expeditions. But yeah, the thing about it, it's they can drop from expedition, which means that whales will get it more often. There's still a random chance of you not getting this in the first place, right? So there's still a chance that you won't get what you want in the first place. There's still a chance that will happen. But it still can be pretty spicy. So there's a lot of good gear pieces, but all right. Quick intermission before we talk about some other stuff. If you're enjoying the video, make sure you like, subscribe, join the Discord server, like the channel. Correct me if I'm wrong. You were right, Yuen. I think I did the math wrong on that piece. Let me see if unless I got really... Let me go back to that piece because I'm actually kind of curious on it now. Because I think it actually rolled twice into that stat, not just once. So it's not like this one. It had to have rolled twice into hell. No, it didn't, because it could have high rolled. Couldn't, no, it had to roll twice. Once. So that's 2, 3, 4. Yeah, it's only one roll into effectiveness. So yeah, it would only be like 8% crit rate. Wait, let me think. Max value, 85%. It'd be 9% crit rate with this. If I reforge this, if I change this, it'd be 9% crit rate. 9 or 8%. I don't know if they're gonna do round up or round down. If they do round up, it'd be 9%. If they round down, it's 8%. That's still really good versus not having crit rate. So, but yeah, make sure you sub if you're enjoying. We'll do more content. We'll try expedition teams. You guys need to have expedition teams ready. I don't want to hear y'all crying in 2 months that you can't get expedition stuff because you didn't farm it. But you can see here that they're gonna drop different levels. If you want to get the legend level substat changed, you need to do expedition level 3s. It's 85%. You went. It's 85% of max roll value. So you can see right here with the speed one, it's a good example. This would have been 8 speed, right? Because it rolled once into speed. It would have been 8 speed. Or 9 speed if it reforged. 80% of that would be like 6, 7. So it looks like they are rounding down, but it doesn't look like it's a legend level. There looks like there's a level above this one that might make it the 85% chance. Granted, it's all RNG, right? You're not going to get the max one all the time, but... Oh, yeah, Moy says we did get that dub. Oh, yeah. Time to cleanse this, bro. Time to cleanse some of these slugs, bro. Right before Expedition, I am going to clear my list for friends, and I'll add you guys. I already have 1 slot open. And I'm going to take out all them leeches, bro. I am going to take out all my guildies as well. Because the thing about guildies is you already have them in your guild. You don't have to have them again as friends, right? That lowers your chances of getting expeditions. So if you have someone that is in your guild and it's your friend, you should probably take them off your friend list if they are in your guild. And add someone else that can actually get you more expeditions, right? So I'll do something with that before. And I'll kick some people out. And for the guild, oh man. By the way, we have 1 slot open. Yeah, add me, bro. I have space. I mean, if you're not in my guild, I'll add you. I think I'm going to kick some of the people that are not in the guild. Also, we are looking for 1 more player that will be put in Guild Wars. If you're champion in Arena or RTA, we are pushing for top 100 this time. It's our first time with the guild. It's doing a lot better than I thought. We're kind of popping off. We do need to do work on our expedition a little bit because our expedition is not doing too hot. I have 1 slot for someone. I think 2 slots because I can just move my side account to be on the side. But at least 1 slot open. We are pushing for top 100 this time. I really want the frame. Just for the flex, dude. I think we're like right there. Yeah, we're like right there. We're 1 win away. So 1 more win and we're there. If you have a good defense, I'll also put you in Fortress if you want. So... ideally champion, it's global. If you're a champion level player, maybe your guild is very dead. We try to be active. We are doing, my guild wars defense trash, bro. Y'all gonna hate my guild wars defense. Y'all gonna hate on it. But we do have a slot open. I am gonna talk to them about expeditions and stuff like that. And we are doing an in-house tourney soon. I think next week, actually. I'm gonna put an announcement in the guild. I try to do like monthly tournaments for them with like $20 cash prize, just for fun. Just to see how they do. A lot of guilds do that. But yeah, if you're interested, DM me and we can talk. But okay, my defense is doo-doo garbage. Don't look at it. I should not be a fortress, but I don't know anyone else that wants to be a fortress. So I will be getting OP though. I will get OP soon because I know this is not update talk, and I am so sorry if you just came here just for the updates and I'm going on these stupid tangents. We will get back to updates, I promise, because we still have some updates we need to discuss. But this is an update for everyone. I was gonna put it to the members. By the way, members, message me if you want to see something cool or if you want to do something cool. But guess what? Guess what, bro? Guess what your boy King Blair got, bro? What do y'all think I got in my box right now? If you're in the Discord, you already know. Look who's in my box now, bro. Look who's in my box now, bro. Look at this. She's finally come home. I'm finally building her. And you know who else came home at the same time? Let's go, bro. Let's go. She came home at the right same time. I feel like FCC called her. FCC was like, yo, I am here. And T-Cern was like, all right, let's go, bro. Let's smack some people, bro. Oh, my goodness, bro. Oh, my goodness. Oh, my. It's over, bro. It's over. It's over for everyone, bro. When we do stream fights, it's over for y'all. Y'all can't spam FCC against me anymore, bro. Yeah, see, congratulations, bro. FCC's nutty. But yeah, all right. So, as Isanagi mentioned, thank you for the transfer over. So, there's my quick show for a second of my cool units. So, I am currently, you may be wondering, you already pulled FCC. Why are you still trying to pull for FCC? Well, if you didn't know, there's something that we like to call the whale shop. The whale shop is whenever you get an ML hero that is a dupe, you get some ML coins. Right now, I am sitting at 30 ML coins. If I am able to get a dupe ML 5-star, you know who's coming next month? That's right. Arbiter Vildred is coming next month to the whale shop. So, if you're a player that wants Arbiter Vildred, and you can hit pity for FCC, even if it's a dupe, you can get a guaranteed Arbiter Vildred off of it next month. So if you're sitting at 30 coins like I am, it's not a bad idea to try to pull for a dupe. So just know that that's a thing, that you can actually pull for Arbiter Vildred guaranteed next month only, and then he's not going to come back for another year until he comes back in Mystics. So if it's something that you want, that's definitely there. And it's coming. It's approaching. It's descending. So just know that it is coming. That's why I am trying to go for a dupe FCC, would be because the place that you're going to be getting dupes is going to be Mystic Summons, right? So I'm already 30 coins in, so I can get one more dupe. One more ML dupe will get me there. I need to clear Abyss stages so I can get the last couple of ML summons and hope for an ML 6-star or ML 5-star as dupe. And if you do and you're able to get it, just make sure you get 40 though. It does require 4 dupes. I just happen not to get a lot. But it is, if you're there, you may want to try to pull for a dupe because it is a guaranteed Arbiter Vildred, which is crazy. So just know that that's coming. That's the other update I wanted to talk to you guys about. That is why I'm pulling for dupe Fallen Cecilius, is because I'm already at 30 coins for Whale Shop. I'm 1 MO away from getting Arbiter Vildred. I'm not going to whale for the FCC dupe. That's too much. But just know that's why I'm still pulling for FCC. There's also Arseeman's Shadow, which, like, I mean, that's cool and all. I think what they're going to start doing is putting the Mystic Summon Hero here, too. I think this is actually something that they're going to start doing. Low-key. This looks like there's something that they're going to start doing is after every Mystic rotation, they look like they're going to be adding the unit to the shop, which I think would be fine. I mean, for people that whaled and didn't get for some reason, they still have a way to get with whale coins, especially new units that may not come around for a long time. But yeah, that is for that one. As far as upcoming banners, you should try to keep pulling on the limited banners. Why? There's nothing crazy coming next week. Like, next week is just Pabel and Kayron. So, it's nothing, like, super great, right? Alexis Basket is great, which is amazing. You can buy it from the shop. And I do recommend you buy an Alexis Basket from shop if you don't already have one maxed out. But besides them, both... Like, Kayron has fallen off considerably. He's still a good counter towards Cleave. He's still really fun to play with. I'm really sad I don't play with Kayron anymore. But it's just... It's not his meta, dude. Maybe with Emma Lilibet, there'll be less F-Tennis, less Ceresis, and more aggro teams. Pabel did get a buff. If you're a Cleaver, you may want to actually try to pick him up if possible. But next week is a pretty quiet week. And we know that it's probably going to be another rerun the week after that. And then it'll be Senya, right? So I don't expect there to be... Like, it'll be next week will be them two. The week after that will be one more rerun. I think it's going to be probably Iseria. And then it's probably going to be Senya the week after that. So they're still, like, from today, there's, like, 3 weeks before, like, the next unit comes out that's new. So if you really need those limited units, those units are limited, right? So just remember they're limited. We're still pretty far away from the collab. The collab's not until April. So assuming they're going by the old timeline that they said before, the collab should not be anywhere till April. So that still will give you all of March to kind of, like, prepare for the collab, right? Or you can start preparing right now, right? Senya. You don't know who Senya is? She appeared in Storyline. I don't want to spoil the storyline too much, but if you didn't know who Senya is, let me show you guys real quick. Not there. I think I pinned it. 1 second. I'm pretty sure I pinned it. Somewhere in here. I pinned it. Yes, I did. There we go. I did pin it. So let me see. So Senya is this person. She's coming out. Like, she was data mined. This is how she looks in her ultimate. So it's a Earth Knight. We kind of knew this already, and this is how she looks. So she'll be coming pretty soon. So just know that she's coming. It's an Earth Knight. Emma Lilibet already kind of destroyed a Tenna and Cerise team composition, so I don't know what Senya's going to do. I'm really curious, actually, what they're going to do with Senya. But she will be an Earth Knight. Something tells me she's going to be PvE now. For Water Expedition, because that's expedition most people struggle with is Water Expedition. Because there's not a lot of Earth Knights besides, like, Pocket Clary, which, I mean, yeah, she's a free-to-play unit. But she's going to be most likely the next unit that they release, since they already have all her skills and her animations. It'd be weird not to release her, but, you know, smile gate, right? So that's that for the updates. Let me see if there's anything else. Oh, I almost forgot about her. New unit. So new unit's actually coming out. It's a 3-star. So nothing crazy. 3 stars. I mean, I don't expect a lot from them. I know someone was asking about her earlier down the line. She's coming. You can get her from the side story, so you don't have to work for her. She looks like she's legit for Katie's hunt. So, like, they literally just gave help to free-to-play players to be able to do the new hunt, right? If you're curious about the new hunt, they basically gave you a unit that can help you do that. Her imprints are, like, nothing crazy, right? Because you always have to look for speed imprints, right? Because speed imprints are always something that's, like, really, really interesting. She looks really kawaii, though. Like, I actually kind of like how she looks. Her animations are actually really funny, too. She just throws paper at people. So her imprint is attack, so nothing crazy there. Her S... Man, I hate how fast it's moving. Alright. Let's see the S. So, S3. Again, nothing crazy. It's just a barrier to your allies and decreases debuff duration, which is nice for PvE. Nothing crazy, right? Just kind of chill, right? Kind of chill. Temperance. Oh, wait. Where's her S2? Why do they just skip all her skills? We're just going to watch the preview because the stream's too long and I can't skip around as easily. So S3, I mean, it's legit for this. Restrict so the boss can't get turns. I mean, it just... This unit was... I don't even know what Katie's hunt does, but this unit looks like it was just made for that. And they obviously showed it for this boss. So imagine this boss gets combat readiness. So when she restricts, he can't get combat readiness. So... And I think the S2 was also just like restrict or something. This is the S2. So S2 is restrict and decrease speed AoE. So again, her whole kit is just restrict and speed down, which legit just looks like it'd be just for this boss. And for like one Abyss stage if you don't have Cerise, right? There's an Abyss stage, I think it's Abyss 90 that you can use restrict on them unless they fix that. But yeah, that's it for Lucy. Nothing super crazy, right? So there's nothing that I'm like super shocked about. But let me see some of the stuff we've been talking about. Yeah, saving for collab. Collab will be in April most likely. And something tells me that the collab will come in this fashion. When this new collab comes in April, they are most likely going to introduce all the units this way. That is my guess, that they will do this because this looks like a money machine for them. So I could see them doing this for the collab. Maybe not. Maybe they'll only keep this for reruns. But I can see the collab coming out this way. And then you can pull on the collab banner, which should be in April. Will be new units. Will be 2 months from now. So there's still time. Don't worry about it. You got time. And yeah, I really like Senya too. It's pretty interesting. Karek's also really, really good in storyline. But alright, let me see one of the stuff that you're talking about. Mystic Rotation will be broken. The Mystic Rotation kind of sucks, dude. The Mystic Rotation's kind of sus, dude. The Mystic Rotation is like Emma Leo with the new Lilibet. That's one of the reasons I might not pull on her banner, just because it's Emma Leo. And that'll make me so sad if I got Emma Leo versus her. But yeah, I don't think that she'll get an SC that quickly. Alright. That's the updates. I think we covered all the updates there. Let me know if I missed one of them. If y'all have any questions about anything we talked about, if you want to talk more about a certain unit, about my thoughts on everything. Also, I feel like I was screaming a lot in the stream, so I apologize to earphone users. It's also been a while since I streamed. I think it's almost been a week a little bit over a week. My voice is super hoarse. But yeah, if you're in Texas, by the way, you probably are not here from Texas because you probably don't have power. If you don't know, Texas is like under a winter storm. And I'm from Texas, and I was staying safe, but I was chilling. Let me see what last week is for Fallen Cecilia. I haven't actually seen this yet. I know this one's insane. Like, this rotation was crazy. They have Aureus for Fallen Cecilia. They have Alencia, who's a really good unit to pair with Fallen Cecilia. They have Stellar Harpa, which is amazing for healers. And then the Forcers or whatever. But then they also have Moonlight Dreamblade. They had a really good rotation. Oh, this is really good as well. Wow. Luluka is a really good PvE hero. Arguably one of the best PvE heroes right now. And then you have Alexa's Basket with it for Arby. Pretty good rotation. I like this rotation more, though. I like this rotation more overall. But, alright. Because for some reason, my voice is getting super sore. And it doesn't look like you guys have any questions about anything. I think I covered everything. Sorry I didn't get to the units. I think are going to get an update next time. I will talk about that next stream, which should be Sunday. So expect Sunday unless I lose power or something happens to me. Yeah, the balance adjustment. Yeah, sorry, Benjamin, we didn't get to that. And I know Salabitas was asking about that too. Leg guy, I know you're asking about it too. Sorry I didn't get to it. I'll get to it next stream. For some reason, my voice is really hurting right now. So I'm going to go and drink some tea or something. But make sure you all stay safe out there. If you're in Texas, stay safe. If you're around the country, it should probably be pretty cold. If you're outside of the U.S., hey, nice to see you there. Thanks for dropping by. But yeah, I think I'm going to end stream there. My hot take of the day. Honestly, I don't like the new gear system. That's my hot take of the day. I don't like the new gear system. That's just me. It's too much optimization. It's going to kill some of the fun for me in the game. But I still got you guys, so I will always enjoy the game as long as you guys are here with me to talk to. But yeah, that is all I got for you guys today. Sunday, hopefully I should have a lot of my units built, and we can play around with a lot of teams I've been building. Some of the spice. Some of the units I think on buff, I really do think Tanibria needs a buff. But that's more of an EE buff. I don't think it's a buff. I think a buff, they're probably going to buff mid Chloe. And I feel Emoken is on right there. I think May, Chloe, or Emoken are gonna get the buff. That's my guess. As far as 5 stars, I don't know, dude. Armentia's absolute garbage. She's never been good. It's really sad. So I don't know what's gonna happen. But yeah, that's my hot take. I don't like the new gear system. You can disagree with me, but it's my personal opinion. I think it's just too much optimization. But alright, that's all I got for you guys today. And I will see y'all next time. Should be having some videos coming out this week. I think I'm going to make a video on the 3 of these. If you want the TLDR, I think the most important one right now is Landy. Then it's a toss-up between Deanne and Cerise. Although Cerise... Because now with new Emma Lilibet, Cerise lost a lot of value. She's still really good. I would say Landy, Cerise, Deanne. I would say in that order, that's like the order you should be going for 5 stars. Landy for sure. Make sure you have her. Cerise, really, really good for Cleave, really, really good for control. Deanne, just an all-around really good unit for PvE and PvP, but doesn't really do anything in expeditions that much, right? I still use mine for expeditions, but it's not like a must-have for expeditions, right? Like, a lot of units can take care of her job. All right, that is all. I'll see y'all next time. Roll once. Okay, I'll roll one time. I'll roll one time just because you asked nicely. Nothing. All right, that's all I got for you guys today, and I will see y'all next time. Peace. Oh yeah, subscribe if you haven't. I forgot to say that. Subscribe if you haven't, like the video, do all that good stuff. Helps the algorithm, helps your boy make more videos.